Welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into the ultimate wireless network architect's blueprint. We're getting hyper-focused on a really critical slice of the Designing Cisco Enterprise Wireless Network syllabus, specifically for the 300-110 WLSD exam, version 1.2. In this explainer, we're zeroing in on objectives 2.4, 2.5, and 2.6. And look, these aren't just dry bullet points on a page. These represent the actual, real-world skills you need to pull off high-density network designs, navigate those tricky mesh environments, and integrate advanced location tracking. So, let's jump right in and decode exactly what you need to know.
90. That's it. That is literally all the time you have. Exactly 90 minutes on the WLSD exam to prove your expertise across site surveys, infrastructure, mobility, and high availability. Because time is ticking, being efficient isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely crucial for your CCNP wireless certification. You just can't afford to hesitate. Mastering these specific blueprint sections inside and out before you ever walk into that testing center. That's what gives you the speed to conquer that 90-minute timer.
Here's our game plan for today. First, mastering wireless design requirements. Second, tackling high-density networks. Third, bridging topologies with mesh. And finally, your exam strategy blueprint. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Mastering Wireless Design Requirements. So, taking a strategic look at the entire exam breakdown, 4 main domains really stand out. Now, domains 1, 3, and 4, they hover around that 20 to 25% mark. But look at domain 2.0, wired and wireless infrastructure. That makes up a massive 30% of the exam weight. It's the single largest piece of the pie. And crucially for us today, objectives 2.4, 2.5, and 2.6 all live right here within this heavyweight domain. So dedicating a serious chunk of your study time to fully nail this section, it's not just a good idea, it's pretty much a mathematical necessity for passing. Moving over to Objective 2.4, the syllabus says you need to apply design requirements across different types of wireless networks. And sub-objectives 2.4a and b, they directly pit data networks against voice and video networks. I want you to think of standard data as heavy cargo. It's pretty forgiving, right? If an email takes an extra half second to send or a file download pauses for a blip, you're barely going to notice. The focus there is really just overall throughput and coverage. But voice and video, man, that is the ambulance lane. It is real-time, it's highly sensitive. If you drop packets or your latency spikes during a live video feed, the connection drops or it gets all pixelated immediately. The user experience is instantly ruined. So the exam wants to know that you understand exactly how your design parameters, stuff like adjusting cell overlap, how much the signal from 2 access points blends together, how that has to dramatically shift when you move from hauling static cargo to managing that real-time ambulance lane. And that brings us to the third piece of 2.4, Cisco Spaces. The syllabus actually goes out of its way to explicitly include this under location design. Listen, whenever an exam drops a specific branded product platform right into the blueprint text, you've got to treat it as a highly testable keyword, for sure. You need to understand how designing for, say, standard internet access is entirely different from location tracking. Tracking often requires really precise access point placement so that multiple radios can triangulate a device's exact coordinates. That's how you feed those accurate, high-fidelity location analytics right back into Cisco Spaces. Moving right along to Section 2, Tackling High-Density Networks. So I want you to think about this for a second. How exactly do you design for thousands of clients packed into one single room? Imagine a huge lecture hall, an auditorium, maybe even a stadium. You can't just slap standard access points on the ceiling and hope it all works out. No way. Co-channel interference, which is basically APs just screaming over each other on the same frequency, that will completely destroy your network before the event even kicks off. And that introduces Objective 2.5, which is entirely dedicated to these high-density environments. Because at this level, it's not just about covering square footage anymore, it is all about sheer device volume. Under 2.5, the blueprint makes it clear you have to design high-density wireless networks and know their associated components. That means understanding the actual specialized hardware and the architectural choices needed to support these extreme environments. It's knowing exactly when you should deploy directional antennas to carve a massive room up into smaller, manageable microcells. It's about tweaking those power levels with total precision and identifying which specific access point models are engineered to handle the intense processing load of hundreds of simultaneous clients. You're going to be tested on your ability to look at the catalog, pick the right tools, and solve these high-density puzzles without causing self-interference.
That brings us to Section 3, Bridging Topologies with Mesh.
Now, for Objective 2.6 on wireless bridging, you've got a strict mental checklist of 3 sub-objectives you need to lock down. First up, modes of operation. That's understanding how a wired root access point connects over the air to a remote mesh access point. Second, Ethernet bridging, meaning how do you securely pass wired traffic over that invisible wireless backhaul when running a physical fiber cable just isn't an option. And finally, WGB or workgroup bridge. You've got to know how a workgroup bridge acts as a wireless translator for its wired clients, and crucially, how it handles roaming between APs to keep devices, like say autonomous guided vehicles in a massive warehouse, connected. Nail the mechanics of these 3 bullet points, and you have got Objective 2.6 completely handled.
And finally, Section 4, Your Exam Strategy Blueprint.
We have covered some serious ground today across Domain 2.0. We looked at the unique architectural demands for data, voice, video, and Cisco Spaces under 2.4. We explored the intense capacity challenges and the hardware needed for 2.5. And we mapped out all the mesh and bridging rules for 2.6. But remember, mastering this domain, it's not just rote memorization of acronyms. It is about building a highly strategic, enterprise-ready toolkit. Because when you sit down for that exam, they aren't just going to ask for simple definitions. They're going to throw complex, real-world scenarios at you, and you'll have to dynamically apply these concepts to synthesize a working, fully optimized wireless architecture. So, I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. Is your design mindset truly ready to handle the weight of these enterprise-level requirements? Take a look back over your notes from today. Can you confidently explain the difference between designing for a standard office, a high-density stadium, and a remote mesh deployment? Because if you can, you are well on your way to conquering that 30% behemoth of Domain 2.0. Keep reviewing, keep structuring the study plan, and stay focused. You've got this.